Thank you.
We'll start out with an opening statement, then we'll open up questions.
So a little disappointed, obviously, in today. Just the overall, for us, tough game at home. But playing a tough opponent in Monmouth, who we obviously knew going into the game, this was going to be a game about possessions, and it certainly was. And there were times when we just did not, execute the way we needed to put ourselves in position to win today. So. Hopefully, again, it's another lesson I think learned for us as we move forward in conference play. 6 games in, understanding, especially with a group, in so many ways that's still forming together, because we know a lot of new faces on the floor for us, especially in crucial moments, that they're learning how to play in the CA and find a way to win games. And I think this is certainly a lesson learned for our team, and obviously against a tough opponent in Monmouth.
Yeah, Monmouth's defense really disrupted a lot of the passing lanes. 16 turnovers, certainly higher than what you guys typically average. What were they doing defensively that really was the biggest problem for you guys that disrupted you offensively?
Yeah, I think a lot of physicality, off the ball, like the ability to set us off our mark when we're trying to make cuts and move. And I think, that's something that when that's happening on the floor, if you can't move to a spot or a different spot and make the play, like the pass in those moments and take, I think the way we run offense, we always have counters for that type of play. But today, I don't think we were right on point with some of the passes when we needed to be. And obviously, I feel like we got more shots again, so we got more shots than they did. We just did not make them. I feel we actually got some really good looks at times. So, that, as we know, makes a big difference too. If you make a couple of those, it's a difference maker sometimes in the momentum of the game.
Brooke Mullen struggled shooting on Friday. She was 3 for 16 today. It looked like she might have been forcing things a little bit in the second half. What are you seeing from her that maybe you can adjust and get her back on track to what she did to start conference play?
I think it is. I think it's she is our leader, on the floor, and she's our leader not because she's our leading scorer. It's the little thing she does. She creates plays for others, and I think in moments when she thinks we might have struggle scoring, I think she sometimes maybe tries to take shots or more difficult shots and makes them a little harder. And that's something we're going to continue to work together. And I try to remind everybody, this is a new role for Brooke this year too. It's a great role for us that she's doing so many things for us. And but it's also even end of the game situations where we're getting here trying to take advantage. It's not like she's a senior player on her team that's been doing that for 3 or 4 years. And I think I have no doubt she's going to continue to embrace that role, and you're going to see her continue to improve in those situations. And I was happy to see Lane in the end of the game, freshman for us, making some big shots. And I told her at the end of the game, she took the shot, she took a great unit, and I have a feeling you're going to see her hitting those towards the end of the season, especially in these possession games.
Yeah, speaking of Lane, what are you seeing from her? She's a freshman. There's adjustments, especially defensively. So are you seeing her getting more and more minutes as the season goes on?
I definitely do. I think she's proven that, at practice she's showing that she wants to be on the floor and she's open to learning everything we're doing. And you're seeing it each game, just the little things that she's doing. And we talk about that. And we certainly need rotation if they're playing like 10 people, when we don't have as many people rotating in. I think we got one out, especially in the second half. And I think that's where you see the missed shot, certain things, some of the execution plays, if it's a careless turnover at times affect you. So that's something we've got to look at, evaluate, and get ready as we head into our bye week next weekend.
Yeah, a tough stretch coming up, at Stony Brook next weekend, and then, Delaware, William and Mary, A&T, and a couple other road games. So, how do you, bounce back from this and get your team ready for a pretty tough stretch in conference play?
I mean, my first statement's always the team. Like, do you know why we are where we are today? Like, what the outcome, like those things. And if they understand those things and they're willing to work at them and the demand we're going to ask of them to get better, then I know we'll be more than prepared to, take on any opponent. It is a tough stretch, so I think this team has toughness pieces that I'm really happy with as a coach. But I'd like to see the experience of some of the games that we played, especially early on, especially in non-conference, continue to help us grow. And that's going to be the deciding factor. We have to figure out if we want to be where we want to be. When the end of the year is, like, what kind of team are we? I think the toughest teams are in the top of the conference. So I'm hoping that we can continue to build on our toughness heading into those.
And one last thing on a positive note, Maris Baker really carried you guys offensively. 21, I believe, a career high for her. 9 for 14 shooting, and she struggled a little bit to adjust after she started really fast. But the last few games she's really played well. What are you seeing from her that she's doing honestly to really get good looks and put some points on the board?
I love that you put out. That's the things we talked about right after the game. Just you're seeing her continue to get confident in what we do, and we really need that. And I think she's putting the time in, and we're really working on that piece. So I think it is now the pieces of the puzzle. I'd love to see O'Neal, become more of an offensive threat on the floor and be in a position to do that. And I think those are things we're going to continue to work on because she's capable, more than capable, of knocking down shots and doing that. And I think it was nice to see Amaris and see Lane now. And I think those are all the pieces. I think Chloe last game. So we really need it to be where everyone's hitting on the same cylinders, same game. And I think that comes with, again, continuing to play games like this and opponents and being ready for what we know we're going to see each time. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.